The Vanishing Tailgater of Marble Falls. Summer of 2024. When you spend time running the pavement in the dead of night, you quickly realize that the highway changes after dark. It becomes a completely different element. Most smash the gas pedal and zip through the night on these empty highways, trying to get to their destination as fast as humanly possible. And they do it because they know that they are riding the back of a different beast when night falls. So it's a white-knuckle ride for those who aren't used to the road. They think if they can just increase their speed, make it around those hairpin turns, and fly through the dark, they can escape what's out there. They feel the weight of what's lurking in the shadows, and they want to run from it. But the vehicle that pulled up behind me that night, it wasn't running from anything. It was operating on a completely different frequency. Let me take you back to that specific night. Just outside of Marble Falls, Texas. I was out on a lonely, two-lane highway. No streetlights. No moon. Just miles and miles of black asphalt cutting through the brush. I was navigating the dark, keeping a steady pace, completely alone. Or so I thought. Out of nowhere, headlights appeared in my rearview. They approached somewhat gradually. I didn't think much of it. I kept a steady mindset and figured they would eventually pass since they were moving at a faster speed than I was. And within moments, this car pulled up right onto my bumper. It just latched onto my bumper. It stayed so close, locked on with aggressive lights bearing down on my back. It was riding me, trying to disrupt my focus, trying to break my peace. It felt like an intentional attachment. I didn't react. I kept my head right in that 0 point, completely neutral space, hoping that they would eventually pass. But instead they stayed close on my bumper bearing down on me. I was beginning to get upset because of their refusal to go around. Finally I made a decision. They would pass, or I would make them pass. So, I let the truck begin to slow down. And I refused to pull over on the shoulder as I did this. 50, 40, 30, 20, and then, 10. Creeping along at 10 miles an hour, the vehicle still refused to go around. It just hovered there, glued to my bumper at walking speed, matching me foot for foot in the pitch black. Finally, it slowly began to creep past. As it cleared my front fender, the driver took off like they were going to move on through the night. But as soon as it got a few car lengths ahead, it lagged right back down. It just hovered there in front of me, traveling at about 50 miles an hour, blocking the lane. I sat there in the quiet cabin, looked at the back of that vehicle, and spoke in the name of Jesus, Lord. Get this car out of my way. In Jesus' name. Right then, the road ahead crested a long, steep hill. The car went up over the ridge, its red taillights dropped down the other side, and it disappeared from view. A few seconds later, I went up over that exact same hill. I crested the ridge and looked down the long, straight black stretch of highway ahead, expecting to see those red lights driving away in the distance. But nothing. The road was completely, totally empty. There were no turnoffs on either side of the road for that vehicle to turn onto. There were no side roads. There were no tail lights in sight. It was just gone. The blacktop was completely vacant, as if the vehicle had never been there at all. See, when you are out here on the transit, you aren't just dealing with regular commuter traffic. You are dealing with spiritual laws, and strange, erratic energies that want to latch onto your momentum and feed on your reaction. But when you stand firm, when you hold your ground in total neutrality and speak with true authority, that darkness has no choice. It has to clear out. Watch the road. Protect your peace. And stay sharp out there.